There's this rather large warehouse in the heart of West London, and on its shelves there are boxes and boxes and boxes of photos.
There's probably about 70 million images in the building now. We recently took on another collection of 14 million, so it's just growing all the time.
Dating back to the 1830s, about 10% of Getty Images Hulton Archive covers sporting photos, and the demand for them is constant.
If you look at sports pages generally across newspapers, they're always harking back to an event, you know, be it, you know, the Grand National of 10 years ago or 20 years ago or 30 years ago. So yes, we use archive a lot. I mean, I would say probably about 40% of our material published.
And it seems the same ones keep popping up again and again.
You've got the iconic shots, whether it's Bobby Moore in the World Cup.
You've got the Maradona Hand of God, and that picture seems to get used every other day, you know, for, you know, whether it's cheating, whether it's Maradona, whatever.
And you can name them all going back to Jesse Owens and before.
The Bob Beamon picture, which was the picture that kind of launched all sport, I couldn't count the number of times I've seen that picture used.
Gascoigne, you know, crying at the World Cup. Beckham being sent off against Argentina.
Now, 70 million photos might seem enough of a treasure trove, but among all those photos are also millions of undiscovered negatives that have never seen the light of day.
It is like an archaeological dig here, and you are unearthing stuff day after day that you never knew you had. There's a very famous picture of Roger Bannister breaking the 4-minute mile, taken by a guy called Norman Potter. I don't know, just in a random box in the back of the warehouse, I found that original negative.
Obviously, informal access to the archive is reserved for special people like myself. But to get a taste of what's here, you could take a trip to the Getty Gallery in central London.
Essentially, we're actually drawing from the collection, so from the Getty Images Archive, which dates right back to the beginning of photography. And
owning a piece of history, or at least a high-quality copy of it, needn't cost the earth.
Anything from £65 upwards, depending on the size and the quality that we're actually printing and producing on. On a sort of normal sort of scale, you'd be talking up to maybe £1,100, £1,200, and then we do have, you know, certain signed limited edition material.
These days, of course, sports photographers' equipment allows them to take remarkable high-speed action shots from over 100 yards away. And the archive demonstrates how the very nature of sports photography has changed and evolved.
We see there an action shot.
Yeah.
Was that quite a rare to see in those days?
It was, and I wouldn't say it was rare, but it was obviously when the action was near the camera. So you didn't have obviously telephoto lens then. So if there was if the action was going on in the centre circle, or they wouldn't take the shot because it was just too far away. So that they'd obviously wait until you got to near the goal mouth, or in cases like this, they'd actually, you know, before the game, come on and take a shot of them, you know, taking an action shot so it looks like it was action during the game.
So that was just staged?
Yeah.
And looking at some of these photos, I have to say, you can't help feeling that sport has somehow lost a bit of its character.
A famous member of the Preston North End Invincibles, Johnny Goodall, who has a pet fox for some strange reason. And then you've got, I mean, the fag hanging out of the mouth and mopping up. That's actually Chelsea and Scotland international Andy.
It's not quite Hello magazine, is it?
No, not quite. Look at this guy. Fantastic. He does not look like a footballer, does he? But there you go. So a few examples.
But whenever it was taken, greatness, it seems, will always remain just a matter of moments.
And that's what photography is about. Photography is about stealing a moment in time.
It's distilling that moment into that freezing of a frame.
It's what Cartier-Bresson said. It is capturing the moment, and that if that is the moment, then you know that's a great shot.
A moment that, thanks to Getty's Hulton Archive, could last forever.